This is long overdue, Jens.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's get right into it. The Zamerican arm.
Here they are. We have 3 sizes. Very light.
Extremely light. Here is a Noga arm, comparable to our large arm. Actually, it's a little shorter, and it's a pound heavier. A pound.
Yeah, a pound. I don't know if you realize how much heavier
This
that
thing
is, but
huge.
if it's on your shoulder, you're going to feel that.
Well, but a pound, even sitting in your case, you're going to notice it.
The other big thing you might notice that's different between these two are what?
The screws.
Yeah, the
which
threads.
we hate.
Threads we
screws. We have these things called Zugs, and you can see these Zugs screw onto the arm, and it essentially gives it our 15mm rod. So even there, we have this little teeny set screw that keeps the Zud from turning once it's put on an Israeli or other type of arm with screw ends on it. The concept started 8 years ago when we first developed one of our very first products was this arm. And it's like a lot of people really don't get the concept of this, what we call an articulating rod. It's not really an arm so much. Because here, look at how you can put a rod in the tip of the arm. This is a threaded rod. I mean, you could make this thing as long as you want.
You could literally extend it. I mean, that's the point. When we were first making our first rigs, we started to think about other accessories we needed, and it was at that point we decided to make everything the 15mm rod-based thing. So that was the natural kind of quick release, and then it would fit with all our other parts that we were making.
Right. When we started this company, Jens, we decided that we were going to make every single thing quick releasable. When you actually have this slit concept in here and then you crank on this, it is much, much stronger than a screw can ever be because you're bending the metal around that rod. The beauty of our system is still that we have that 15mm rod end to our arm, which makes it great for when you put on all our little components here. You can see you can put monitors, you can put EVFs, you can put lights, you can put audio recorders, you can put video recorders. I've seen people do crazy things with these.
One of the first things when we decided to make an arm is that we decided that we wanted to make ours the strongest in the business, and they are. I mean, you can lock these down so hard and never have them move.
Part of it is the design of our locking grip. You know, this one I always tell you hurts my hand because you really can't get the leverage.
Right.
But show them how the leverage you can get on that. That thing is like a giant wing nut. Here's 2 different varieties of what we call Zycro mounts. Now, Zycro is what you stick on your piece of equipment that you want to mount, and then it can quick release on and off the arm. Here you can see it's with a half turn of a lever, boom, on, boom, off.
This is on a camera, it could be on a cage, it could be on all sorts of things.
On anything. This one here has what we call these fangs, and when you put a monitor in it against these fangs, it keeps it from having that rotation, which is really nice.
Or if it's on a camera, it's against the handle and prevents it from turning on the handle.
Exactly.
Again, we hate screws because things end up turning.
No, and this is a 2-screw option here, or a screw and a pin option to prevent it from turning at all in this system.
Here's an example of one of our arm kits. Right here you can see a way to mount it right to your rod on your rig, and then this will bring it up to a monitor on the top. So you can mount this anywhere along your rods, in the front or the back, from the side of your cage, whatever it may be.
Well, this is handy in a situation where you might have a DSLR and you don't have any points to be screwing arms on, and you don't want to anyways. Screws stink.
Right. Here's another arm kit example where we have a cold shoe on top for mounting, you know, mics and lights and things like that. And on the bottom it's attached to our Z-rail system, which can be mounted on top of cages and cameras and things like that. It's another way you can quick release it or adjust its position real fine like.
Here's another example of an arm kit where on the top we have our Zycro 3, and on the bottom we have a double rod mount system so that when you want to release this arm, you turn that lever and it comes right out. Now here's a perfect example where putting a rod in here and sticking this could get you much higher. So like you could extend this as high as you want. Here's another place where we've mounted an arm.
Yeah, some of our base plates we actually have built into it our mounts, the rod clamps, so that you can take arms right directly in without an extra accessory to your rig.
This is really handy, you know, because you can have your monitor directly above your camera, which is where you want it. So if you're looking for an arm, turn in your Israeli arm and go Zamerican.
Absolutely.